Hello everybody, the topic of the day today is Chenin Blanc. So Chenin Blanc is a white grape and it's actually planted pretty much all over the world, but one of the places where it's really known for making a really large range of different styles of wines is the Loire Valley. So like I say, there are lots of places all over the world that have Chenin Blanc planted, but you can get a sweet dessert wine, you can get a dry white wine, sparkling wine, all kinds of styles of Chenin Blanc in the Loire Valley. So it's a really significant place for that specific grape. Another really significant place for Chenin Blanc is South Africa. In fact, Chenin Blanc is the most widely planted grape variety in South Africa because the setting of the vineyards, the terroir, the climate, everything about that area is a really great match for this grape. But the interesting thing about Chenin Blanc is that actually it can grow quite vigorously in all kinds of settings, all kinds of different soils and climates. It's just that the resulting wine that you get will vary so much depending on where the grape is grown. Even just within the Loire Valley, the reason that you can produce so many different styles of Chenin Blanc is because it reacts so differently to different soils and slight differences in climate. So for example, if you plant Chenin Blanc on like a clay-based soil, you might get some botrytized grapes that would be perfect for a dessert wine. If you plant Chenin Blanc on sandy soils, you might get a better resulting dry wine, just like a dry style, dry white wine. That's just perfect for dinner, not necessarily for dessert. So then also sparkling wine, you can make sparkling wine, and quite often the best grapes of Chenin Blanc for sparkling wine have been grown on soils like limestone, because Chenin Blanc tends to come out quite high in acidity when it's been grown on limestone soils. So it's a very reactive grape, it's a very versatile grape, and so the end result will always be affected by things like the soil and the climate, and the diurnal range as well. So that means kind of the temperature difference from the beginning of the day to the end of the day, and what the margin of difference is, that can also affect it, as it can with all wines really. But Chenin Blanc is really susceptible to change depending on where it's grown, and so so like I said, most people know the grape by its name Chenin Blanc, but within the Loire Valley it can also be called Pineau de Loire, and in South Africa it is sometimes called Steen. The main difference that you would find in the finished wine, from depending on if it was made in France or if it was made somewhere in the New World like South Africa, is that you'd get sort of riper fruit notes in the kind of New World areas, maybe a bit more of a honeyed flavour. So in some of the areas of the Loire where you would have maybe more acidity because the climate isn't as hot, you might get more green flavours, like you might get apple and pear and quince flavours from a French Chenin Blanc. And then in the New World, like in South Africa, you might get more floral notes, more of the green fruit, but riper, so riper apple, riper pear, but then also some tropical fruit aromas as well. So you might even get some pineapple or some banana, or even really tropical like guava and mango and things like that. So it really does make a difference where it's grown. And also the wine producers, the people who work on the vineyards, they need to be careful always to prune the Chenin Blanc vines really carefully, because one of the things that this grape does not struggle with is ripening and having an abundance of yield. So sometimes actually that can make the finished wine taste really bland if there's just been too many bunches of grapes that have come from the yield. So what some people choose to do is they choose to do a green harvest. So they will basically cut away some of the bunches in the first stage of the growth period of the vine to make sure that there aren't too many grapes in the final yield, and hopefully those grapes will be better quality. So there's a lot to say really about Chenin Blanc, but the wine itself is really delicious, depending on what's your favorite style. If you want to try sparkling, try a Pineau de Loire or a Vouvray. If you want a dry white wine, try one of the Anjou Chenin Blancs. Or if you want something with a bit more body and a bit more ripeness and tropical fruit, go for one of the South African Chenin Blancs. Let me know what your favourite is. I currently am drinking a South African Chenin Blanc, and I really love it with just like chicken. I think it's really, really nice, just as like a middle of the week wine. Nothing too expensive, nothing too spectacular, just really delicious, good quality wine. So let me know in the comments if you like Chenin Blanc and what your favourite is. Cheers.